There's a war being fought every single day. Not out there, but in here. No guns, no screams, no chaos in the streets. Yet millions of minds are being conquered, taken by noise, by headlines, by the endless touch of glowing screens. And perhaps the most dangerous enemy we face is not the world outside, but the quiet collapse of focus within ourselves. Today, we learn how to fight back, not as warriors of rage, but as warriors of calm. Not to escape the noise, but to build silence within it. In this video, you'll uncover 9 timeless Stoic rituals, inspired by Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, practices that will sharpen your focus and help you reclaim the empire inside your mind, even when the world refuses to be quiet. And, at the end, I'll give you a 48-hour challenge. If you can complete it, you'll feel it for yourself. The stillness, the strength, and the power of a Stoic mind. Let's begin. Part 1. Silence is discipline. Seneca once lived in the heart of Rome, a city as loud and restless as New York today. The cries of merchants, children laughing, guards shouting, the grinding wheels of carts echoing through stone streets. And yet, he wrote, he created right in the middle of the chaos. Someone once asked him how he could stand it. Seneca simply smiled and said, "I have trained my nerves to be immune to noise." He understood something we've all forgotten, that true silence doesn't come from the world outside. It is forged within. We are no different from Seneca. We can't turn the world off, but we can keep peace inside our own minds, even while the world roars around us. Every person lives inside a fortress, not built of stone but of thought, and every notification, every mindless scroll, is an arrow fired straight into those walls. You think you're using social media, but social media is using you. Imagine this: inside your head is an empire. If you're not ruling it, someone else will. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "No one is fit to rule others who has not first mastered himself." To focus on yourself is not selfishness. It is awareness. It is sovereignty. So, if you wish to rule your life, begin by reclaiming the territory inside your own mind. Part 2. The rituals of a Stoic mind. Ritual 1. The quiet morning. This is the first ritual and the most important one. The first hour after you wake up. Let it belong to you, not to the world. Don't touch your phone. Don't check messages. Don't scroll through the news or drown in the noise of social media. Just breathe. Drink a glass of water. Sit still for a few quiet minutes. Let your mind wake up, the same way your body does. The Stoics believed you cannot command your day if you cannot command its first moment. Because if the first thing you do each morning is open the gates and let the world rush in, you've already surrendered your peace before the day even begins. Instead, return to yourself. Take a deep breath. Write down one thing you want to accomplish today. Just one. A calm morning can change how you respond to everything that follows. Begin with silence, and you'll end with clarity. Ritual 2. Do the hardest thing first. The weak start with what's easy, because they crave the quick hit of completion. The strong begin with what's hardest, because they crave progress. Focus is a finite resource. The longer you wait, the less of it remains. Look back on your day. Which task truly mattered? And which one was just a distraction? Most people drown in endless to-do lists, a blur of busy that hides the truth. As Seneca wrote, No one is busier than the man who does not know what he's doing. So, each morning, choose one thing, the single most important task of your day. Then do it while your mind is clear, while your spirit is still strong. When that one task is complete, you can look at yourself and say, "Today was not wasted." Focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most, while your energy is still whole. Ritual 3. Know what is not yours to control. Every morning, Marcus Aurelius asked himself, "Is this within my control?" If the answer was no, he let it go. Not out of apathy, but out of wisdom. Because sometimes holding on is the real loss. You can't control the emotions of others. You can't control the weather, the news, or the past. But you can always control your response to them. The Stoics never tried to fix the world. They trained themselves to remain calm within it. Peace doesn't come when life gets quiet. It comes when your mind becomes unshakable, even in the storm. The Stoic is not cold. They simply refuse to waste their energy on what was never theirs to command. Ritual 4. Walk to reset the mind. When your mind feels tangled, don't try to think harder. Don't force yourself to focus more. Just stand up and walk. That's it. There's something almost sacred in the rhythm of walking. When your body moves, your thoughts begin to fall back into place. Your breath deepens, your heartbeat steadies, and your mind begins to unclench. Nietzsche walked to think. Tesla found the rhythm of electricity while walking through a park in Budapest. Hemingway rebuilt his stories pacing around his small home. Walking isn't an escape from reality. It's a way to reconnect with it. Each step is a reminder. I am still here. I still get to choose my direction. 10 minutes of walking can do more for your clarity than an hour of staring at a screen. So let your feet lead you back to yourself. Ritual 5. The information diet. The world doesn't suffer from a lack of information. It suffers from a lack of silence to understand it. You don't need to know everything that's happening out there. You only need to know what's worthy of living inside your mind. The news never stops. But you can. Start your information diet. Turn off 80% of your notifications. Cut your news time in half. And ask yourself, does this information make me better? Epictetus once said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish." He was right. You don't need to know everything. You only need to know what matters. And give your mind enough space for that wisdom to grow. Sometimes, wisdom doesn't come from adding more, but from learning to listen to less. Ritual 6. Change the lens. Like a camera, your mind must learn to adjust its focus. When you feel overwhelmed, narrow the frame. Focus on what's right in front of you. One email, one conversation, one action. But when you feel lost, zoom out. Look at the wider picture, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years ahead. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Is what I'm doing still aligned with where I want to go? Your mind must know when to zoom in for detail and when to zoom out for peace. Marcus Aurelius often imagined himself looking down from above, seeing how small his troubles really were. That's how the Stoics stayed afloat. They refused to drown in their problems, because everything becomes smaller when you learn to look from a higher place. Ritual 7. Subtract to focus. You don't need another to-do list. You need a to-don't list. The Stoics understood something powerful. More isn't always progress. Sometimes, the only way forward is to let go. Seneca once said, "If you don't know which port you're sailing toward, no wind will be favorable. So, look at your calendar. How many meetings mean nothing? How many tasks do you take on just because you can't say no? How many conversations leave you drained instead of inspired? Each week, remove one thing. One commitment, one group chat, one habit that clouds your mind. When you strip away the excess, your energy begins to converge like light through a lens. And in that focus, clarity is born. Ritual 8. Live with a sense of urgency. Not anxiety, not panic, but a clear awareness that time is passing. There are two kinds of people: those who believe they still have time, and those who understand time belongs to no one. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "You could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow." That is the most common disease of all: procrastination. We tell ourselves we'll start later, call later, change later. But later is not a real moment in time. Only now is. The Stoics lived as if every act they performed might be the last gift they ever left the world. They weren't frantic, but they refused to waste a single breath. If you truly understood that you could lose everything tomorrow, you would focus, not out of fear, but out of gratitude for today. Ritual 9. Memento mori. Memento mori. 3 simple Latin words, yet the clearest mirror ever held to the human soul. Remember, you will die. It sounds dark, but to the Stoics, it was the most powerful reminder to live. Because only when you accept that life is finite, do you finally see what's truly worth living for. Every day, choose one thing that is worthy of your life's energy. Ask yourself, if this were my last day, what would I give myself to? Then pour everything you have into it. Your focus, your heart, your breath. Death doesn't steal meaning from life. It is forgetting death that makes life meaningless. When you carry memento mori in your heart, everything becomes clearer. Distractions shrink. Trivial things fall away. And finally, you begin to live, truly live. Part 3. The 48-hour challenge. If you truly want to know how strong you are, test yourself. Over the next 48 hours, no promises, no grand plans, just 2 days. Just one decision to reclaim command over your own mind. Here's what you'll do. First, when you wake up, do not touch your phone for the first hour. Let the world wait for you. Don't spend your life waiting for the world. Drink some water, breathe deeply, take a short walk. Write a few lines in silence. Feel the morning belong to you. Feel the quiet seep into every heartbeat. Second, choose one thing to focus on each day. Not 10, not a list. Just one. The one thing that moves you closer to the person you're becoming. When your mind starts to wander, ask yourself, if this were the last thing I do today, would I want to do it with my full attention? Third, silence. 3 sources of noise in your life. Maybe it's a group chat. Maybe it's a social media account. Maybe it's a person who drains your energy every time they speak. Not out of hate, but because you need space to return to yourself. Do these 3 things for 48 hours. Then come back here and write in the comments, I guarded my mind. That sentence is not just a declaration. It's a vow that you are awakening, that you are beginning to live with intention. Conclusion. Remember this. No one can focus for you. No app, no course, no philosopher can save your mind if you won't begin to save it yourself. The world will never be quiet, but inside you, there can be peace if you choose it. The Stoics never chased comfort. They sought calm in the middle of the storm. And that is what made them powerful. So right now, as this video ends, take a deep breath, turn off the screen, and sit in silence for 10 minutes. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the breath that keeps you alive. Feel what it means to be here, fully present. That's where true focus begins. Not in effort, but in awareness. Not in noise, but in stillness. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you is waking up. So don't stop here. Carry this stillness into the next hour, the next conversation, the next decision. Because clarity isn't something you find. It's something you build, moment by moment. And if this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs silence more than motivation. Someone who needs peace more than noise. Subscribe not for the algorithm, but to keep walking this path of stillness, strength, and self-mastery. Now, before you go, leave one line below, a quiet promise to yourself. I choose clarity, not for the world to see, but for you to remember that from this day forward, your mind is no longer a battlefield. It is your fortress of silence. Thank you for watching.